Jehoshaphat was a king of Judah. He was a king that tried to do his best in what was right before God. We find him in 2 Chronicles 20 in a tough place where 3 kingdoms had declared war on Jehoshaphat and were on their way to attack Judah. In 2 Chronicles 20 verses 3 and 4 it says, Jehoshaphat was terrified by the news and begged the Lord for guidance. He also ordered everyone in Judah to begin fasting. So people from all over the towns of Judah came to Jerusalem to seek the Lord's help. We see Jehoshaphat, even in his fear, immediately turning to the Lord for help and telling his people to fast. So many times in our lives when things feel like they are falling apart, the hardest thing to do is stop and ask God for his help. Most of the time we question, why is this happening to me? Or, God, can you just make this go away? But with God, nothing is wasted, and he has a plan to work everything together for our good. So Jehoshaphat calls everyone together, and he has a worship and praise session with his people and cries out to the Lord. See, when we realize that our issues are small in size to the greatness of our God, we begin to see things differently. I heard someone tell me one time, when we go to God in prayer, the situations we are facing may not always change immediately, but our attitude towards those circumstances will change after worshiping God and seeing how much bigger He is than any situation we may face. See, Max Lucado says this, the circumstances we ask God to change are often the circumstances God is using to change us. When you are facing a frightening situation, go to Him in worship and then wait for Him to show you His plan to see you through it. So now back to Jehoshaphat, who hears from God and does what no one would ever expect. He put his worship team on the front lines and they lead the army into battle. That's not your ordinary way to declare war and go to battle, I'm sure. But in 2 Chronicles 20 verses 22 it says, at the very moment they begin to sing and give praise, the Lord calls the armies of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir to start fighting among themselves. So when the army of Judah arrived at the lookout point in the wilderness, all they saw were dead bodies lying on the ground so far as they could see. Not a single one of them and the enemy had escaped. Let God fight your battles for you. Show up and be ready to face whatever is coming, knowing that through worship of God, that His presence can conquer anything you are facing.